As the federal government struggles to maintain insurgency in the country, Chairman of the Senate Committee on Army, Allocation, is not satisfied with the planned de-radicalization and reintegration of repentant Boko Haram terrorists into society. According to Lawmakers, it's bad timing as the country is faced with security challenges. He discussed this after meeting with top officials of the Nigerian Army in Abuja. National Assembly correspondent reports.
The welfare of the armed forces is still a big topic among those really concerned about finding a lasting solution to the prevailing security challenges in the country. Some Nigerians even say the lapses shown by the country's uniformed men is a result of poor welfare and funding, which they believe has largely contributed to the frightening spike in the insecurity and other forms of violent crimes across the country. Despite the obvious security threats, the federal government has maintained that it is winning the war against Boko Haram. Now this cause for concern is also an issue in the National Assembly. The chairman of the Senate Committee on Army describes the budgetary allocation for the Nigerian Army as grossly inadequate. He says for a national budget of 13 trillion naira, 27 billion as capital spending for the Army is largely insufficient to cater to the country's security demands.
In a period of war, where the country planning to spend 13 trillion, the government is budgeting less than 30 billion as capital for the Nigerian Army. And there is no guarantee that these monies will even be released 100% to them.
He also says the delay to release these allocations only cripples the operations of the Army in the war against insurgency.
We are advocating that they should be front-loaded. That is to say, if you are giving budget, if you sign the budget, you give the money to them so that they can start their procurement process. Because unlike others, that local procurement that you can buy here, buy there, Nigerian Army requirements have to be processed from a country. Before you even finish the process, it takes a long time. And that has been the position, or is the position of the committee.
The chairman of the committee also urged the government to draw lessons from the government of the United Arab Emirates on the recent clampdown of 6 Nigerians in connection with the sponsorship of Boko Haram insurgents. He says the Boko Haram insurgents should be regarded as prisoners of war rather than granting them amnesty.
Once we hear all these issues of those that are involved directly or indirectly in Boko Haram activities, they should be brought to book and used as an example to deter others. But so far, I think we have not been up and doing on that. I'm in disagreement with the government on the issue of de-radicalizing and reintegrating. My position is still the same.
The chairman of the committee says they will continue to engage with the executive arm of government and hopefully get a fair deal for the Army. However, the security of lives and properties is an obligation that the government should never take for granted. TJ Swade, TVC News, Abuja.